Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey live review of last night's 3-0 shutout victory for the Florida Panthers in Madison Square Garden in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Rangers. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Icy. Hello, iDog. iDog wonders when the last time was a team got a regular goal, a goal called back, a goal from the other team scoring on themselves, and an empty net goal all in the same playoff game. There is some history that's been made. Matthew Tkachuk is the first player in NHL history with 4 game-winning goals in just his first 5 games played in the round before the Stanley Cup Finals. So, yeah, the game felt like such a massive victory because we sucker punched any cocky Rangers fan. But the reality is we still have a series to win. And all it takes is a lackluster game 2 to bring us back to square one. T-Money says, okay, I wore my Rangers jersey for game 1 thinking a goalie duel and it would end up 1-0 Rangers, and wow, you were wrong. Yeah. Welcome to the playing against the Florida Panthers at their best experience. It will drive you insane if you're an opposing fan. Your team will generate nothing. Any shots you do get will usually be stopped by Bob, and there's also hitting the post. And then the Panthers' entire gameplay is basically every guy on the ice can play defense, and they're just waiting for you to make a mistake so they can capitalize on offense. But again, the Panthers still need 3 more victories before the Rangers are officially vanquished. It's probably, I imagine, we still got a long series ahead of us. So let's see what's going on in the world of hockey. Let's see. So the LA Kings removed the interim tag from Jim Hiller and named him their 30th head coach. Sheldon Keefe is your new coach of the New Jersey Devils. Rick Tocchet won the Jack Adams Award, so they gave Tocchet Coach of the Year. Brunette was second, and Bowness finished third. Bowness just announced his retirement this month. Roope Hintz is still out for game 1 against the Oilers. Oh no. That's not good news for Peter DeBoer said he is hopeful that Hintz can return for game 2 of the conference finals. T-Money heard about Keith. Devils fans better pray that it's just the Maple Leafs and not the head coach. Dick says, you love how nobody is talking about Igor sucker punching people left and right out of nowhere.
Hey,
well,
everybody.
I would have to watch the highlights to see about that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So last night, if you're a basketball fan, the Timberwolves lost to the Mavericks 108 to 105. So the Mavericks took game one of the Western Conference Finals in the NBA. Because of course both teams that I want to lose their respective conference finals in the NBA, they both won game one. But the Panthers also won game one, so I can't complain that much. Tonight is Pacers Celtics, and also game one of the Stars and Oilers is tonight at 8:30 on TNT. Team Money says, well, we won without hints in game 6, so we should still be good. Kenneth says, Panthers should have no trouble if they can just repeat that second goal over and over again. Yeah, Lafreniere came in clutch for the Panthers last night. He must still be waking up in a cold sweat about it. Let's see. Yeah.
You're right there. Right there. Stay there.
So let's get some updates from Jameson Olive.
Yep, it should be. Everybody slept well, and everything's going to stay the same. Okay. Yep.
Let's see. Barkov played almost 11 minutes of 5-on-5 versus the Rangers' top two lines in the game, and the shots were 5-1 Florida. Paul Marie said the best offense by both teams tonight missed the nets.
Yeah. Well, the one shot that Barkov had. Actually, I think Shesterkin made that save.
Let's see. Oh, I see that.
What?
Shesterkin totally punched Luosterainen on that one play.
No, really? Stay there, Fluffy. Here, blow it up so I can see it.
So
yeah, and not onto him by his own player.
You see that?
And then Shesterkin doing that. I mean,
right. Hang on.
Go back.
Right there.
Yeah. I mean, he got knocked onto him.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
And Jameson with Shesterkin likely too tired from punching, can't react quick enough, said Jameson. Let's see. T-Money, it says it's so confusing. There's a player named Lafreniere and Laferriere in the NHL. Bill Hogue says Tarasenko looks lost out there.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. I have not been happy with Tarasenko's play at all, but he's not really hurting us defensively. I don't think there's really a change there. Because I like how the third line is going. I don't want to move Rodriguez around. But yeah, I've kind of cooled on re-signing him.
Craig,
Maybe he picks it up later, but yeah, totally agree.
Craig says the perfect road game, Madison Square Garden, was deafening with silence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, their fans, they look like they just lost Game 7 of the Cup.
Well, yeah, you try getting bobbed.
Yeah, we've been bobbed. We've been Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
We've been bobbed.
Also putting one in your own nets.
Yeah, well, we kind of did that too. I mean,
Yeah.
Not exactly, but the Uyghur 3.8 seconds was very similar.
iDog says Sens fans kind of said Tarasenko has stretches where he doesn't score.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a great victory to start off the series. But it's probably still going to be a long series.
Mm-hmm.
Got quite a while to go. T Money says, don't take game 1 as a walk in the park, though. Get to game 2, New York will come out swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the Rangers did anything less than come out swinging in game 2, then I would be concerned for the Rangers if I were a Rangers fan.
I'll be there once I get his heart rate to cool down.
Colin says Vladdy did have chances to score, so he's close to scoring.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not hurting us defensively, so it's not the end of the world. I mean, we're scoring 2 goals a game. You know what I mean? The last 2 combined games, we've won 4-1.
Yes, T Money. We are also streaming the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
The game starts at 8:30 tonight.
Is it 8 or 8:30 tonight?
It's 8:30 on TNT, so stream starts at 8.
Okay.
Dietrich says for Hagee getting some swag back.
Yeah, he was apparently trying to hit Kachuk. Kachuk was coming in back door.
I see.
And then that's when Lafreniere came in and just put it in himself.
Yeah.
Hagee was trying to hit Kachuk on the other side.
And then Lafreniere.
He just came out of nowhere and just put it right. I mean, when you watch the play, it looks like a perfect play.
Yeah.
Only wrong guy, wrong team.
Shesterkin must have been pissed.
Oh, man. Well, it's his fault for mishandling the puck, though. He's the one that gave it to Verhaeghe. I mean, it was like they forgot what team they were playing on, both of them.
iDog says Verhaeghe so clutch, he knew the puck would bounce off Lafreniere's stick and go in completely intentional. I think the only way he would know that is if he could see the future.
He borrows Bob's transmogrifying machine.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go sit next to Kai.
Jeff says I was impressed with all the super chats last night. Hope we can make more of that happen for you guys. Hey, we appreciate it, buddy.
Definitely appreciate it. It was a good night. It was a good night. Absolutely. Okay. I just had to sit with the dog. He was outside for a little while. I sit with him and pet him so he get his heart rate down because it's very hot outside. So even if he goes outside for 5 minutes to take a leak and get a drink, he comes in. He's so I just sit with him and get him calmed down, and he's okay now.
Eisenite says, imagine if that was an overtime goal.
Holy hell. Oh, my God. That game is coming, though, too.
Yeah. I would be shocked if none of the games go to overtime.
I mean, any number of inches go differently last night, and it's 1-1, and we could still be sitting here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that game in this series is coming. It might be game 2. Game 2 could easily be Rangers take off to a good lead because they punch us in the face and we claw our way back. You know?
Chris Wilson asks, did you notice the Rangers had a hard time dealing with the Panthers' physicality against the boards?
Well, they're not used to it.
Yeah,
people, and I'm no disrespect to Ranger fans, but I saw some other channels and some fans in the comments trying to talk about how Carolina and Florida are the same. We're not the same. We end up, the scores inside the games end up very similar, but we swept the Canes for a reason, and so I don't necessarily think the players felt that way, but they have not had to play that physical as the Panthers have had to play. You know what I mean? So the Panthers could come down 2 notches from the Boston series, and it's still more physical than what the Rangers and Canes were doing.
Yeah, so I'll do a comments rapid fire. So Jeff says the fact that we've only had 1 overtime in 12 games is insane.
Yeah, that's right. We just had the 1 overtime game.
And that overtime was quick.
Yeah.
Canada up 5-1 now versus Slovakia.
Oh, jeez.
Eisenite says Jaws wanted another 4 overtime game in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 2. As long as we win.
Jeff.
Oh, wouldn't that suck, though? Because the game is, not only is it every other night, but the game Sundays at 3:00.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't that be something? That would be crazy.
No overtime.
No overtime on Friday. No, I take that back. That can be the 3:00 game.
Yeah.
That way, we can go to 4 overtimes with the 3:00 game. That way, it still ends before midnight.
Jeff says that final check is the clock ran out. Looking back on it, how do the Rangers not try to scrap with us for doing that?
Yeah. We're gonna have to survive the first period tomorrow. Rangers are gonna come out, and they I keep saying it. I just anticipate them being like a pissed off hornet tomorrow night. There's a lot of proud guys on that team. You know what I mean? It's not the Maple Leafs. You know what I mean? There's some ornery sons of bitches on that Ranger team that are going to be pretty pissed off.
Kazuma says he's seen some Rangers channels complaining more about how the Rangers played than giving props to the Panthers. Some even saying the Panthers got lucky. Well, we sort of did get lucky.
I mean, luck is always part of it, but you could also say you create your own luck. I mean, let's put it this way: the second goal, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Verhaeghe's not there if our forwards, think about this. He's forechecking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's nobody else really around, and people give Verhaeghe a hard time about his defensive game. He's only there because he's forechecking. Right? So, did we get lucky that the shot goes in off Lafreniere? Sure. But you create your own luck by playing with hard work the whole 60 minutes. It's always going to be that lucky bounce in the playoffs, but you have to be in position to take the shot to give you the lucky bounce.
Yeah. Hungry Xenomorph says, has anyone else run into the if Rempe would have played, we would have won comments?
No, I haven't seen that. I mean, if they – and look, the fans are the fans. The teams are different. You know what I mean? If the Ranger fans want to keep taking us light, okay. I mean, we didn't win the Eastern Conference Final with a fluke last year. It wasn't some Game 7 double overtime puck was our own goal. I mean, we swept them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got to finish. Our goal is the cup. So I'm not bragging or dropping the mic or anything like that, but the Panthers got a good team. Go ahead, kid.
Yeah. Well, I agree with the person who said that our defense was pure skill last night. Our offense arguably got lucky. Like, I mean, the Kachuk goal was usually, I would imagine Shesterkin makes those kinds of saves in his sleep.
Sure. Yeah, I don't disagree there. Usually Barkov doesn't, Shesterkin doesn't, Barkov will score on that, lift it up a little bit. I mean, look, define luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Define luck. Again, I think you got to work hard, right? Kenneth says you have to prevent that luck from happening against you, like the one Bob giveaway passing it to the wrong way against the Bruins. Right. Yeah, you have to find a way, And Shesterkin's going to be pissed. They're all going to be mad. You're going to have a pissed off Trocheck, pissed off Bazan. I can't say his name. Shesterkin's really going to be pissed off because he got outplayed by Bob, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
That in the post.
Well, there's a lot of...
All right, Jake. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks again for last night, Jake. That was really over and above, man. Really appreciate it.
There's a lot of intersection here between the two teams. Trocheck, former Panther.
Right.
Panarin and Bobrovsky, former Blue Jackets teammates.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Basically, two of the teams that got benefited the most by Columbus's continuous failure now face each other in the conference finals.
JC says, sorry I haven't been on the streams. We've been winning.
Didn't want
to ruin it. Nah, you ain't going to ruin it. You ain't going to ruin it. I'll be right back.
Hungry Xenomorph says he thinks lucky was the second goal. It was a comedy of errors by Igor and Lafreniere.
Yeah, no doubt.
RC says, great game one win. Listening and watching Kachuk in this team, it's scary how more focused and driven than what seems like a year ago. The maturity from this team is immense.
Yeah, look, I mean, they still got to play the games, right? They got to play all the games. They got to have the bounces. They got to stay out of the box, all of those things. But this team has one thing in mind and only one thing.
Yeah.
They are, I agree with your sentiment, they are tunnel visioned on each shift, each minute, each goal. They are just tunnel visioned on nothing but they do not want to have to experience what they experienced last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the end, Vegas beat us in 5, right? But it was dead close until it wasn't. We won game 3. Chucky get his sternum broken game 4, and we were this close at the end to tying that and getting it to overtime. We were this close to it being 2-2, and then you've got a whole different series mentally. So I would suspect that in their minds, kind of how like Brenda Moore says it wasn't a sweep, I would suspect that the Panthers kind of feel like it was closer last year than it ended up looking, and they want to get back and finish the job. They are completely focused on that one thing, and even when you heard them talking with all the Marchand and all of that stuff going on, it's just square in a box. They are focused in on what they're doing and really tuning out a lot of the noise.
Strafossi says Mikula, former Ranger, right. Tarasenko, former Ranger also.
Yeah.
And Bolvar says, and Huberdeau is nowhere in sight. His downfall must be studied more than the Panthers trading Marshy and Smith to Vegas for nothing.
Look, I mean, with Huberdeau, I hate putting it this way because it sounds like it's hindsight. It sounds like hindsight. But if you watch this channel, the years Huberdeau was on the team, I would rotate between bitching and complaining about his lackadaisical play and attitude. And then when he would play well, I kind of felt like if he played at the height of his ability, angry Huberdeau, I felt like he was the best player on the team. And, who knows? You never know, right? Like if you're going down the road and you make a right-hand turn and you end up in an accident, there's no guarantee that if you made the left-hand turn, it was going to be any different. We assume it is because, I should have made the left turn, but you don't know what it was going to be. So you don't know what would have happened if Huberdeau would have been here. Yeah. To me, as like a human being, I give him a complete pass because, it's like one day if like you're married with 2 kids and everything is happy and your wife just comes home and here's your divorce papers and I already got an apartment. You know what I mean? It's just like, what? That wasn't what? And I know that, he took the contract and you have to adjust and all of that. But not every person is made to bounce with those kind of punches. You know what I mean? Not everybody's made to take those kind of punches. He was in the right spot where there was not a lot of media pressure. He had good players around him so he could just be creative. He had good players around him so that on the times when he was taking a week off, we were still win some games because, we had a lot of other good players. Then he goes, all of a sudden he has no interest. He goes to Calgary. And I read what the team and the fans were expecting him to be, and he was just never going to be that. And all that pressure, I hope he gets traded somewhere and he'd have the salary and he at least can finish his career like on a decent team in the playoffs or something. But I give him a pass, man, because that just emotionally, he just could never recover. And not everybody is built to where they can take that kind of a punch and just come back.
Let's see. All right, comment rapid fire here. Mm-hmm. T-Money says, y'all have swayed me. I want it to be Dallas versus Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals. Titan says, imagine paying all that money for a ticket and your team scores no goals.
Oh, man.
Well,
actually, no, they did score one.
They did score one. It was just for the other team.
Oh, my God.
Hello, Rosado.
I got to rewatch that.
Own goal?
I got to rewatch that, on the stream. Because I jumped up so fast on that one that by the time I got over here to Fluffy, I had to jump on my knee because I was dizzy. I got up way too fast.
Dietrich says Huberdeau was professionally cross-hooked in the jump.
Yeah, it was rough, man. It's exactly what I said in the video when I talked about it happening. I'm like, business is business. I swear. I know it didn't happen. I know it didn't happen this way. But it's just crazy because it's like Zito watched that video and called up Calgary and said, hey, look, business is business. Huberdeau's closing in on 30. Here's the deal. I'll never get over how that happened that way. I wish I could repeat that with lottery numbers.
Neil says it was really beneficial to us playing both Swayman and Vazzy in the first 2 rounds.
There you go.
I think those 2 goalies are better than the remaining goalies in the playoffs.
Swayman allowed 3 goals in the last 2 games and did not keep his team from being eliminated. Bro, like what's the kid supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So Boston's going to be good. They got cap space. They got a goaltender. We need to win the cup.
Yeah,
we need to finish this year because, Boston made it to the second round, and now they got $20 million in cap space from what their fans are saying. So we need to finish this year. Go ahead, Kyle.
So Kazuma hates how he's barely seen any coverage at the playoffs, especially the Panthers. He gets more coverage from us than the news.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. I get it. But the YouTube, if you watch YouTube enough, but you really got to look for it. There's a couple of people like Tobin, the guy that's on WQAM. He's covering it, but I watch his videos. It's not really my style. He's more of like a kind of like in your face, aggressive type. He's like a football guy trying to take the, hyper masculine tactic to hockey. It don't really work.
Hungry.
And then there's a couple other people, that come up in my feed every once in a while. But yeah, like news-wise, it's all Rangers.
Hungry says, remember when people used to refer to Barkov and Huberdeau as a cheat code?
They were good for a hot minute, but it just got to the point where pass. Nobody would ever shoot. Oh, yeah, Colin, that's right. You said it. I'm gonna at the end of the season, I'm gonna have a Kyle's greatest hits. What was the other one that you said? I put it on.
The
suck off. Yeah, is this gonna be a good old fashioned suck off? I don't know. Can he beat off two men? I need to put those together.
Big task at hand says, go Power Rangers. No, that was not the first time we've used cowbells. We've had the Kachuk cowbells for a while now.
Yeah, the Chucky, good friend of the channel, sent us these cowbells, and we ring them when Chucky scores. Great White says, if you get pushed into the goalie, how can it be interference? Because Lomberg skated into the crease on his own.
Yeah.
That's why. If you watch Maurice's press conference from last night, he agreed with the call because that's the call he would want against Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
So if the player skates into the crease on his own, he's responsible for getting out of the crease without knocking into the goaltender. So in hindsight, if he had gone into the crease and gotten out without touching him, it's a goal. But he got pushed into him, but they count that as the defensive player's responsibility because he shouldn't have been in the crease in the first place.
Goldie was streaming a pregame 30 minutes before for free on CBS Miami.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
So we need more cowbells. Imagine the whole Panthers arena with cowbells at Chucky's skull.
Yeah, Trey says we wouldn't get that call if it was Bobrovsky. I don't know anymore. I give up. I mean, and it's just like, what's the call on the ice? Here comes the review. Okay, that's what it is. It's so subjective, and there's so much nuance to the rules. It's like I just can't even get mad anymore about it. You just either you get the call or you don't. Go ahead, Carl.
Jay Free says, as a Boston fan, I'm really impressed with how Florida's top six forwards are consistently creating and capitalizing on chances through these playoffs. It's great consistency.
Yeah, Jay, that's the truth, man. They just never, to take a phrase from Kyle's book, they never stop coming.
That one I never said.
I know, but it's in your book of phrases. I see that, Trey. Ban Trey.
No.
Ban Trey. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with Kazuma. It's blasphemy saying Hall & Oates sucks.
Yeah. Kenneth says that call has been consistent through the playoffs with regards to the push. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, right?
Hey, Great White, thank you for the 5.
Hey, Great White, thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy.
Says, thank you, Jaws. Panthers win cup.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. But if we get into an elimination game, like we can win the cup and eliminate the other team game, I'll probably try to set up a second camera so that y'all can see wherever I go after we win, because I'm sure I'm going to jump out of this chair and who knows where I'll be running. I should just put the GoPro on.
Yeah.
I just put the GoPro on and go run laps outside, scream at midnight.
Colby says, strangest shit is my final dream before waking up yesterday morning went like this. We got a shutout game 1 and barely squeaked out game 2 to obtain a 2-0 series lead.
I'm in with that. I'm down with that. Colby. Oh, geez. Here goes Trey. You better be nice, Trey. MJ will come and ban you. MJ loves to hit that timeout button. They're going to get, oh, then no Simon and Garfunkel. That's it. Put Trey in timeout.
T-Money says you won't say that call is being consistent because if Dallas lost Game 6 versus Colorado after that push didn't get counted as a goal, then there would have been a problem.
Right.
Hungry can picture now the Cats win and Jaws runs across America for his
I don't think my body can handle the running across America, but if there was one road that I could roller skate on, that I could do. I was a professional level skater when I was a kid. I could skate for 5 hours straight and not stop. So I got stamina. Probably take me longer than 5 hours to skate across the country, though. Probably. And what are you going to get up to? Maybe 10, 12 miles an hour?
Well, if you
I'm trying to think of how fast I got when the dogs used to pull me. Totally off topic, but when Sonia and Ellie were younger, before we had Fluffy, we lived in a very rural area in Palm Bay. And there wasn't a lot of houses, but it was a regular neighborhood. And I would put my skates on, and I'd have Sonia in my left hand and Ellie in my right hand on the leash, and they would just take off running down the street, and we would just go around the block over and over again. And then my neighbors would know we'd be doing it, so they'd pull out of their driveway slowly, and I'd let them get ahead of me, and then the dogs would chase behind the car. They get up there. They get up there miles per hour, and that was a lot of fun until one day while I was doing that, the truck on my right skate completely broke while we were going about 10 miles an hour, and I went flying up into the air. And I had two choices. I could either try to stick a landing on one leg and lose control of myself, tumbling onto the pavement, or I could dive into second base. I could slide into second base on the road. And so I slid into second base, and from my knee all the way to my foot, my entire leg was ground beef, and I was gushing blood everywhere. And I got back up and turned around, and the dogs pulled me home. And that's a true story. That's a true story. That was the worst pain I ever had, was that hamburger meat. It was on my calf and shin. When that was healing, every first step was the most excruciating pain you'd ever want to have.
Colby says Chris Kreider said the ice wasn't the best in his post game, and he said he's trying not to make excuses. That sounds like
both teams played on the same ice. I will give him credit. It was hot yesterday. It was unusually abnormally hot in the Northeast yesterday. It was like 90 here almost. And we're not that far from them. So
Green says,
go ahead, Con.
Says, hey everyone, I just traveled to the other live recaps of the game on YouTube, and there are a few obnoxious Florida fans out there. Let's keep it classy and not sink to Boston, Toronto level, please.
Yeah, I had not seen that, but you see it. It is what it is. I don't think it's anybody from this channel, though.
Let's see.
Great White says dog sled on the beach. No, we never did that. By the time, because by the time we got here, Sonia and Ellie they weren't too old. We never did the dog sled thing, though.
So,
Trey, yeah, you probably heard that story, yeah. Canada 5, Slovakia 3. There we go. Oh, there's Trey. So go. I'm sure you missed the comments up above.
Let's see.
There you go.
Jay Free says he emotionally wants the Rangers to win the series. It's just recognizing game and acknowledging how many teams are dealing with their forwards falling off where Florida hasn't.
It's a product of how deep we are, in the sense that our guys, Billy Lindsay talked about this when I talked to him the other day. All throughout the season, if a guy had a hangnail, you're sitting. Oh, you twisted your knee, you're sitting. We none of our guys had to really press through and play through any injuries. We would just sit their asses down. So, we didn't hit the playoffs with a whole lot of lingering issues. Even Barkov had taken some time off because he had something. And, this time of year, everybody's so beat up. If you're 5% fresher than the other team, you're gonna look better just because you got body parts. Should we trip Trocheck? I think we got away with a trip of Trocheck yesterday.
T-Money, we're in Maryland, not Virginia. We've never been to DC to catch a game.
Yeah, so we're on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. So we're on the other side of the bay. We don't hang with the over on the other side, like with Baltimore and DC and all of that. We're over here with the bunnies and the deer and the fox and what else is out there? Birds. Like we have our own personal aviary. It's crazy. You guys that listen to the podcast and I'm outside, you hear it, man. You hear my voice, but it's like white noise behind my voice the whole time, or the birds.
Colby says the chances of going 2-0 in New York is little to none, though. They haven't lost 2 or more home games in a row this season so far.
Well, we shall see.
Colby,
no, you're not. Go ahead.
Colby said he had another dream that Rempe pulled a 2022 Kadri and ran right into Bobrovsky to purposely take him out.
Don't like that. Hey, MJ. Hey, MJ. Buddy. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, you better be good now, Trey. MJ's here.
Says, hey, Jaws and Kyle, on break from work. That was a magnificent win last night. Great start. Rick Tocchet won the Jack Adams Award. The Cavs fired J.B. Bickerstaff. And Toronto is getting the WNBA.
WNBA team. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, bud.
Jay Free.
Don't work too hard now.
Jay Free was responding to you, says makes a lot of sense, especially in retrospect of players like DeBrusque playing through stuff like a broken hand, having to hide it and getting a lot of unfair criticism regardless.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. You don't hear they're not going to tell anybody what their real injuries are until after the team has, been eliminated. Like what Maurice did with us last year. I mean, he come out after Vegas skated with the cup. Maurice came out and it wasn't like we played tough. Good evening. How you doing? It was like, so I've got 5 guys that need surgery. I mean, it was just like he led with just like this litany of guys that should have never been out there on the ice playing. I'll never get over watching the Tkachuk interview. He did it before this season.
Yeah.
And I'll never get over hearing broken sternum. And he's like, well, the plan was if we could get it to game 7, I was going to play. And I'm just like, but how?
His sternum is broken.
Sternum, bro.
Like crunch.
How? And we could get it to game 7. He was going to play. That was the plan.
Yeah, and if Tkachuk had taken another hit, he would have looked like that scene in Scary Movie where the ghost face bends over like in the Matrix, and then he's stuck like that.
Yeah. Great. Well, no, that was Chucky's 5th goal, right?
It's his it's his 5th goal in these playoffs and his 3rd straight goal in a game 1 this year.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. He has a playoff goal in each of the first 3 game 1s and then 2 goals in the other 9 games.
Right.
Colin says there's a stat saying Bob is 8-1 in the playoffs versus President Trophy teams.
Trey, what was that? What's Trey saying? What did I miss?
Well, Rosado and Trey were talking because Rosado can't see someone's comments.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Let's see.
Amongst themselves. Hey, Chucky, how you doing, bud?
He is in Belize.
We rang the bell for you last night, brother.
At least for one game, we can just enjoy watching the Western Conference. And
there you go. That's why I told Kyle last night. I said, we really don't have any stressful – Panther fans don't have any stressful hockey coming until Game 3. Because worst thing that happens Friday is we split in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, of course, we want to win, but I want to win, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might be more nervous if we go up 2-0, right? Because at 1-1, you can still – it's anybody's series, right? But if we win both in New York, now it starts creeping into we expect to win category.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to be there, but I think I'd feel more pressure, me personally, up 2-0 than 1-1. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm wearing the Stars jersey. My dad's
I'm going to wear the Edmonton shirt.
The Oilers shirt.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Very, very much so, too.
Kobe says, make sure Karen is babysitting you guys if Panthers have a cup elimination game.
Oh, man. Well, Matthias is going to be here tomorrow night, so that's good. And then if we win the series, he's going to be here. He'll probably be here for a couple of cup games if we get that far. I'm sure he would be here on any night where we could win the cup.
So
that would be awesome.
Sean says, what do the Rangers need to do better to have a shot in Game 2? Not score on themselves.
I was reading. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
What do the Rangers need to do better to have a shot in Game 2?
Hit the net.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, it sounds stupid, but if they hit the net, the game's at least tied. I mean, the post ain't the net. Right? Any goaltender will tell you, it hit the post, I didn't get beat. Right?
Yeah, the Rangers.
I mean, but other than that, they're going to have to find a way to create the opportunities for the breakaways. Because we will, if they see that our last defenseman is pinching in towards center ice like OEL was last night on the breakaway where they hit the post, if they see our guys starts pinching in like that, Tampa tried that. Was it Tampa? I think it was Tampa tried that a couple times with the long stretch passes. It's not like you can't live on that, but that is the one weakness-ish. That's the one weak spot in how we play. If another team can take advantage and get enough opportunities and then hit the net, you know what I mean? Because Bob's going to make some of those saves, but if the puck gets past Bob, you got to put it in the back of the net. Because 5-on-5, it's just going to be like what we saw.
Hello, Manzico. And Azura Monroe says, how are you? We're doing pretty good.
We're good.
Yeah, we did give up too many breakaways.
A little bit. But look, nobody ever won the cup without stealing a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how many of you watched the interviews from the players last night, but the general consensus from several of the players and the coach was we can do better. So that's good. They're not taking anything for granted. I think they realize just how close this game it easily could have been a Ranger win.
Yeah. Hey, MJ.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ.
Says, for the Western Conference, he knows we want the Panthers to win, of course. But would you rather see McDavid and the Oilers win a cup or Pavelski and the Stars win a cup?
If the Panthers are not in the finals, that's tough.
I would root for Peter DeBoer. The guy's never won a cup.
All right. Yeah, I think I would agree with Kyle.
Just the coach.
Yeah.
And also Alex Petrovic would win the cup.
Marchman is there. Isn't Dadenoff there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with Kyle. But I wouldn't be celebrating that hard. Let's put it that way. Because I'd be drunk and stoned the whole series because of my heartbreak that the Panthers weren't there. And the streams would be wildly incoherent.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to pretend like those streams would be coherent. At least not game one, because half of it would be me crying and bitching and moaning and groaning and complaining. Should have been the Panthers. So let's just not even think about that.
Colby says Stuart Skinner against Jake Ottinger is already abuse to Oilers fans.
That's kind of how I feel. You know what I mean? Like the Oilers keep trotting this Ferrari out there, but they don't even park it in the garage. They leave it outside for the birds to crap on it. It's like you've got all this in Skinner. Now in their defense, in Edmonton's defense, they did try to trade for Ullmark, but Ullmark nixed the trade. So in Edmonton's defense, they did try to do something, but you have to do that stuff during the summer. And I suspect if Skinner can't finish the job, they might have to do that.
Costa still thinks they should put Tarasenko on the first power play unit on the right side, not the left. Even when he plays 5-on-5 hockey, he doesn't know why we already have him on his off wing.
Because Reinhart needs to play on the right. We have an abundance of right-handed shots. So with Tarasenko in terms of that right side, that's Barkov Kachuk's side, right? You're not going to move Barkov off of there. And so they got him out there on the second unit. Who's on the right on the second unit?
Wouldn't that be Luosterainen or something?
Who's on the right on the second unit? Because Rodriguez is in Reinhardt's spot. OEL's out there. I think Tarasenko needs to get going offensively. I don't disagree with you, but in terms of putting him on the first unit, you're not breaking that lineup up. Who are you taking off?
Just Kachuk says we can't switch Tarasenko's side.
Yeah.
He'll run into one of our guys again.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, that's a good point. No, we do need him. We need him to get going a little bit. You don't want him dropping confidence, and you don't want Maurice trying to tinker with the line. So we do need Tarasenko to get going. That second unit is Lundell, Tarasenko. Is it Luosterainen, Rodriguez, OEL? Is that who's been out there? I think that's who was out there last night.
Azura, the stream's going pretty well. MJ,
hey, MJ, thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ.
Says, curious about this. If the Panthers win the cup, who will Barkov hand the cup to after he lifts it?
Ekblad.
Probably.
It would go Barkov, Ekblad, probably Bob, and then maybe Kachuk.
Two Cats is very sad the Rangers lost yesterday, but Florida defensively shut them down. It was so bad watching them not set up any plays.
Yeah, the Panthers will do that. They'll do that to teams. That's why it's hard. When other fan bases, the teams were getting ready to play, they kind of judged what that team had been doing already. But there's not a team defensively like the Panthers in the NHL, because we can play that way on defense. But if we need a goal, we got like 8 guys that can get our clutch, that can put the puck in the back of the net. MJ, no, it would go to Barkov first because he's the captain, and then Ekblad because Ekblad's the longest tenured Panther other than Barkov. So I would venture a guess it would go Barkov, Ekblad, Bob, Kachuk, unless Chucky steals it from Bob.
So,
which I don't. That doesn't sound like something Kachuk would do.
Well, But first, we actually gotta
but he
it.
said if.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's viable conversation. Oh, just Kachucking around says Kulikov.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Well, Ekblad's been here the whole time.
Yeah, Ekblad's been here the whole time. Although part of the reason I started the channel was I was so pissed off that they traded Gabranson and Kulikov. So it's only fair and it's going down this way.
Just a comment. We were just answering the rhetorical question about he was saying amazing when one game y'all are talking about who's going to be lifting the cup.
It's just a question. You know what I mean? We don't have any effect on the game. The puppets do, but not we. Now, if I got the puppet in here answering, then we're trying to do some juju. You know what I mean? Then we got the voodoo juju going. If I get the puppets answering the questions.
Would they give Spencer Knight a read? I don't think.
I don't know how. I've heard varying things on how that works. I think you have to get into a game either in the playoffs or in the Stanley Cup final to get your name on the trophy. I don't know what the rules are for the rings. I don't know. We've never won, so I don't know.
So, Two Cats thinks Florida's going to be dangerous a long time, all the way until 2030 on. Carolina 2 will win a few cups. They would win 60 plus games a year with a top goalie.
Yeah. Just a comment. I get it. I get it the same way. I understand. I saw some Ranger. He's a good kid. Good video. He's got a lot of subscribers. But in his series preview, he led with, now we all know that Igor is much better than Bobrovsky. And I was like, we do? Like, okay. I didn't know that was settled, but like, okay. Oh yeah, and he said Bobrovsky's past his prime. That was the other thing I saw.
Said this?
It was just a kid that does New York Rangers videos.
I see.
I say kid, it's no disrespect. They're all kids to me, right? I'm an old man. But yeah, he said Igor is obviously much better than Bob, and Bob is past his prime. So I left a comment, but it's we all want to feel a certain way about our team to get our confidence level up. You know what I mean? I get it. MJ, MJ, you better watch out, man. I got a mod in here that'll put you in timeout for comments like that.
Let's see. David Lee says, you think that own goal can potentially be a chemistry killer for New York?
I know it made the fan. One kid, they showed another kid crying in the stands after that happened. I don't know about chemistry killer. It's one game. You know what I mean? It's one game, and it happened in a game where I don't think they was getting the puck past Bobrovsky anyway. I think we win that game 1-0 anyway. You know what I mean? There's some nights when the puck is just not going in the net. Game 4 against the Lightning, 50 shots. Vasilevsky stopped them all to win the series. It just wasn't going in. It didn't matter what happened. I think last night was just one of those nights. Had that been the only goal, then I could see where there would be like some, there would be some people doing lines in the locker room after that. But in the end, it actually didn't end up, if I was anybody on the Rangers, I'd be more upset about the weak goal that Shesterkin gave up to Chucky. Because that can't happen.
They're like, alerts. Shesterkin malfunction detected.
Yeah.
That does not compute.
That can't happen. Whoever, and I'll say the same thing about Bob. It happens. It does happen. But in a series like this, those are going to be the goals that make the difference. And those are the only goals that were scored. You know what I mean? So Lady Luck is going to be singing. And then whoever she smiles on the most is who wins this series, I think.
So
Trey says, I'm here for Rempe versus the Lamborghini.
Owl says Bob is doing his job and it's working perfect. We don't need a megastar goalie to baby us every game.
Right?
So Jay Free says, my first year watching, so I wondered your thoughts on experienced watchers on Bob's form. It seems like he stretches wide and almost breakdances sometimes. Does that help him or is it risky?
When a guy has that kind of flexibility where they'll actually hurt themselves as if they try to hold back too much. I don't mean to sound a certain way, but I was a massage therapist that worked on athletes. So they've talked to me about this specific thing. I used to work on dancers, and where they would get hurt was not in over exerting a stretch, but where they would get hurt is if they were afraid that they were going to overexert themselves and they would apply that opposite pressure to try to rein it in. And that's when they would pull an adductor or an abductor. So if he's, as long as he's going full force, he'll be good. It's when they start, it's the same concept as like if he goes to do a split, but the skate hits the post and doesn't give way. The same kind of concept that way.
Just a comment says, just the fact that we, the Rangers, lost to Tampa 2 years ago in the conference finals, just for Florida to have another horse in the race against us just feels wrong.
I know.
Yeah, if you've ever watched the Skilling It Up video,
right,
for the floor when they put the Lightning in the Nutshell video for this year, they had the meme from Megamind when another Florida, when the team to dethrone the Florida team is another Florida team.
Yeah. That was the part where he was like under new management, right?
Yeah. Thank you for freeing us. Oh, I wouldn't say freed. More like under new management.
Yeah.
Kaboom. Hey, MJ, thank you for the five.
Thank you, buddy.
Which sports athletes do you think are the most flexible?
I mean, other than gymnasts, I mean, hockey's got to be up there, right? Hockey's got to be up there. Football players aren't really that flexible. Baseball players got beer guts. Basketball players, they can't be that flexible because all they got to do is shove them like that and they fly down. They have no balance.
Well, baseball players,
hockey players can go 1,000,000 miles an hour forward, get knocked up into the air, do a 180, land backwards on one skate and not miss a beat. I think I'll go with the hockey players.
Ranger Central asked which Rangers creator was it. Just curious because he'll put his hand up that he has underestimated Bob so far.
I gotta think. I've only seen the person one time. He was he was young. He was either 18 to 20-ish years old. I think he had a couple thousand subscribers. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'd never seen his content before. You know how it is in the playoffs. All of a sudden, you start seeing all the other creators because everybody's getting a bunch of attention. But I don't remember who it was. I left a comment. I didn't see if he responded. You know how YouTube notifications are. You don't always, like, if I ever respond to somebody's comment, this is in general. If I ever respond to somebody's comment and you respond back, it's like 50-50 chance YouTube is going to notify me that you responded back. If I don't go back into the video and check, a lot of times I don't get that notification. YouTube's really bad with that.
Hello, True. He says, man.
Hey, True, True just woke up.
Great game, but we can play better. Well, yeah. We have a lot of room to improve on, particularly on the offensive side. I don't know if our defensive game could get any better. If it did, I think we would make the Rangers rage quit. if our defense was any better.
I'm telling you, it's called the massive pain in the ass defensive system.
But our offense, especially power play, 0 for 3. I get the Rangers are an excellent penalty killer, but we can at least make it a little more difficult on them.
Ranger Central says, checking comments. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure there's been more than once that people, I've been in a conversation with people and they think I just dropped off. I just didn't get the notification. And then sometimes you click, you do get the notification, and it just brings you to the video. And you have to scroll through all the comments to find which comment it was that got responded to.
Well, usually if you comment on the video, I've noticed your comment becomes the first comment you see below the video.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I don't complain. It's fine.
Let's see.
Ranger just comment says Rangers can play much better. That was
the worst
Rangers team you're going to see this series. Believe it. Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about believing that. Like I said, we stole one. But to win the series, you got to steal one, right?
Damien says what happens when the Rangers think we play like Carolina. He heard that yesterday in here.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to put it into context. We swept Carolina, I mean, we kept them scoreless for how many periods straight in game 1? So, all right, everybody. My voice is going. I know Kyle's is going. And we got to do another live stream tonight. Ranger says YouTube is terrible with that. Also for the same reason that wants to highlight the bad comments. Yeah. You get it, brother. I know, man. But for my old ass, it's cool. I get to make a living doing something that didn't exist when I was his age.
Hey, MJ, thank you for the 2.
Hey, thank you, MJ. Oh, boy, MJ. Woo! And go ahead, say it. He said it. He said it. Are you
sure?
Say it. That's okay.
MJ
said it.
MJ said this.
Not me, not him.
The President's Trophy curse is in effect.
He ended it with LOL.
LOL.
He ended it with LOL. So
if the Rangers own goal every single game, I might believe you. That would be hilarious.
Oh, man. All right, everybody. Thank you again for hanging out with us. We had a great time. We will see you 1/2 hour before the game tonight, and then we'll see you again noon tomorrow. Kyle will be here at noon tomorrow. I will not, because I got to go pick up Matthias, and that's 2 hours of driving for me. So I might make it back while he's still on, but there's no guarantees depending on the weather. But then obviously we'll see you again tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you all again for all the super chats.
Yeah.
And still got a lot of hockey in this series for sure.
A lot of hockey. Probably a lot of stressful hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Morgan tuned in just in time to say bye. Hello. Goodbye.
All right, Mike. We'll see you, buddy. Thanks for shopping in.
Yeah.